Dr. Ted Samus, specialist at this. Now, we need two instruments to do this, and they're very handy and portable and cheap, or inexpensive, not cheap, I should say. One is a temperature and humidity sensor, and the sensor is up here. And this has electronics in here and a meter you can read. And it has a turn off. You turn it on, okay, and then I adjust. It'll tell me in centigrade and dew point. So I have it set so it'll tell me degrees centigrade for temperature and percent relative humidity for humidity. So the air temperature out here that's just blowing by me in the sun here is now 23% relative humidity and 19.5 degrees centigrade. You go over here, get a little shade on it, okay, and it's now reading 19.5 centigrade, 19.4. So it's going down degrees centigrade. It takes a little bit for it to change. And so we want to be careful about where we have it when we actually take the temperature, because we want the air temperature, not the temperature of this instrument, because when the sun shines on it, it heats it up. All right, so now it's down to 18.82 degrees centigrade. So that's 2 degrees from, or almost 2 degrees from what it was. And the relative humidity here is now about 24%. So it's changed also. So these things change if you heat this sensor up in the sun. So you must keep it in the shade when you are thinking. Now it can be in the shade of your body, like this, okay, where the sun's behind me. I get it in the shade of my body. And then you let it settle out so that it gives you about the same, over a period of 30 seconds or so, it gives you the same reading. So that's the temperature and humidity sensor. This sensor costs
$60.
$60. Okay, $60. The next thing we're going to measure is the surface temperature of the plants. Okay, and in our case it'll be grape plants. But this time of year, we're in the winter, so there's no leaves on the grapes tree. So we're going to use some wheat grass across the wheat field across the road here for this minute. But at any rate, this is an infrared thermometer. It's non-contact way to measure surface temperature. If I aim this at the surface of anything, okay, and I pull the trigger, I can set it so that it'll read the temperature. Okay, and the temperature of the grass I'm aiming at here is 31.4 degrees centigrade. That's what it reads. Okay. Now, if I go over here in the shade, well, that was pretty much the sun. If I go here in the shade and read the temperature of this grass, I pointed at the grass. It reads 11.2 degrees centigrade. That's a big difference. Okay, so that's because it's still moist here and it's dried out over there and it's absorbing energy. So in the shade holding the sensor in the shade is always important. But we want to make sure we take this measurement in the sun. We want these leaves to be in the sun when you're taking the measurement.